Wind and Wuthering, a great album by the band Genesis. This is Marqua hosting Life Revisited, a musical journey. The premise of the show is to introduce you to or reintroduce to you great music in my opinion. And of course your homework is to go to YouTube. And the album that I just mentioned, Wind and Wuthering, and the songs that I'll mention, and actually on this album, all the songs, go to YouTube and listen to them. That is your homework. So, moving right along, I'm here with my producer Billy and his girlfriend Darla. They are on the road. They're on FaceTime. They're on the road going to Iowa, the state of Iowa. They are on their quest to go to every single state in the union and find out what the most popular food is. So that's where they're headed to, and we're going to, you guys can make fun of me when I mess up on the show, and we're not going to do a beer can collection series can today. Although if you look at my cover photo or one of those Facebook photos, you'll know what it will be next time, because we have some stories to tell. Now on Wind and Wuthering. On Wind and Wuthering, where's my notes here? We got Paul Kobler sent me a private message because I said last week it was going to be the album Wind and Wuthering. And so he wanted to give his opinion. So his and mine, his first one was One for the Vine. One for the Vine, that song is my favorite song on the album. So Paul went with that one. I'm going with that one. His second one was All in a Mouse's Night. Another great song. They're all great songs. And he summed it up nicely, saying, great stories with incredible music to back it up. Precisely. Storytelling with great music. And I also love the crescendo of Genesis, taking it from here to here, making me cry. You know that one. I'm going to add in Your Own Special Way, that song, and then Afterglow, the last track on that album. Go listen to it. You will thank me later. And also, I had just a random question. On this album and any other album, when there are no lyrics, just instrumental, how do you come up with the title for that song if it's just an instrumental? And if you know that's what I have you here for, Billy. If you know how they come up with the title for instrumentals, I would love to know. Let me know. So, again, we're here, Wind and Wuthering. The reason I brought up this album again, just like I did Bruce Springsteen, I had two albums that he did because I had stories to tell. So Genesis, a few weeks ago I did, and then there were three because I had stories to tell, and I'm trying to keep the videos kind of short. So anyway, let's get into the stories. It was back in whatever year. I was at ISU, the Illinois State University, and my sophomore year, Genesis came to town, and it was the Mama Tour. And the reason I know it was the Mama Tour is because the Illinois State University grad Bob Fazik was also at this show, and he sent me a message, said he was at the show. So I was at the show, and I barely got there, and that's the story. So, where's the rest? That's okay. Now we're just going with memory. So, my friend, a little background information. I was the go-to guy to get weed, pot. And I'm only videoing this kind of information now because it's legal and it's not the big deal they used to make it out to be. So, I was the go-to guy. And on this particular occasion, my friend Tom, I'm going to call him Tom because that was his name. Tom came up to me and said, I've got the weed situation covered. And so I said, okay, no problem. So, on the night of the concert, I get back from the gym, I go shower in my sweats, and in the room, there's 5 other guys, my roommate and 4 other guys, we're all going to the concert. And Tom pulls out his rendition of Having Weed, which was, and I forgot my prop yet again. Here, I'll do this. If you see that, it's a sandwich baggie in this little part there. Yeah. That was all the weed he had. And suffice it to say, I was not happy. So anyway, it is what it is. We're in the dorm room. We got the towel under the door. And one hitter. We're not doing, bongs or anything. Irregardless of my high school nickname, still alive to this day, of Bongy. It was the lightest green stuff I ever saw, and he got it from a friend of his from Arizona State. We'll call him Bill, because that's what his name was. And so I do the first hit, one hitter of this ultra green stuff. Weirdest thing I've ever seen. Very pretty though. One hit, and I almost didn't make it to the concert. It's funny now. I did make it to the concert, and but here's the thing. I wasn't dressed yet for the concert, and I think I might have just ended up going in my sweats with a t-shirt. But it was just hilarious, and then I've got all the rest of the 5 guys in the background, and they're talking to me but not making any sound, so they're going. And I'm like, dudes, quit doing that. Don't do that. You're freaking me out. Because they were freaking me out. So that's my somewhat story. But anyway, felt like telling it anyway. And so, until next time, on behalf of my producer, Billy, and his girlfriend, Darla, we'll see you next time for a new band. I should tell you, I'm going to go ahead and tell you who the new band is, because it has a Bob Fasick, who has been mentioned already in this video. The next is going to be a double bill. Earth, Wind and Fire, the album All in All, and the Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute. There's a story behind why I picked those 2 bands, and that's it. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? And I hear you clucking big. I hear you clucking big chicken. That's called There's a Storm Coming, and I'm near a golf course. And if you need me, I will be in a thunderstorm. If you need me, I'll be in a thunderstorm near a golf course in a van down by the river. See you next time.